Let's welcome in NFL expert Ryan Wilson with Friday's Monday morning headlines. Ryan, this is the first time I get to do this segment with you. I'm very excited about it. So let's start with Seahawks at Cardinals. What's going to be the headline Monday morning coming out of this one?
You know, Amanda, I feel like I'm sort of like Geno Smith. Started off a little slow and fighting my way in this world now, so I'll take that. And every time we do this segment, I always bring up Geno Smith, but this is becoming a recurring theme now. Maybe it's no longer a bold prediction, so I have to take it a step further. And this headline, I don't know if I made it up or not. We'll see how you react to it. Says it all. Here we go. Geno for MVP. So when I talk about Geno Smith, Amanda, I always call him by his full name because he's earned that. Eugene Cyril Smith III has been one of the best players in the NFL this season. And this isn't April 1st. This isn't some sort of joke. This is absolutely 100% true. You talked about how he leads the NFL completion percentage. He has been on point each and every week, and it feels like every game you expect him to revert to New York Jets Geno Smith, and it just hasn't happened. He is better than Russell Wilson has been this season, no doubt about it. But he is playing better than Russ has played in recent years in Seattle, and you wonder if this is what Pete Carroll wanted all the time. Ken Walker III has been lights out since he's gotten healthy. We know about DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and the defense with Tariq Woolen has been really good. The rookie fourth-round pick, has played really well on the other side of the ball. Meanwhile, quickly, they're playing the Cardinals, who I don't have a lot of faith in. Kyler Murray's 5-13 in his career against the NFC West. He's lost 5 straight games against the NFC West. I don't see that changing this weekend when Eugene Cyril Smith III continues to do his thing.
All right. I was trying to look up MVP odds. I'll get them by the end of this segment. You got the Bengals sitting at 500 right now, hosting the Panthers on Sunday. We have Philip Walker. Let's go with full names here. Philip Walker, PJ Walker, starting for the Panthers. Another quarterback we haven't talked a whole lot about up until recently. On the other side, of course, Joe Burrow. We've talked about him plenty for the past several years. What's the headline out of this one?
Hey, a lot of quarterback synergy here. My first name is Philip. Fun fact there. Not very fun, but it goes along with PJ. So, yeah. Again, P.J. Walker was the 4th-string quarterback coming into this season. We had Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and of course Matt Corral, who they drafted, has been injured the entire season. P.J. Walker finally got his chance. Turns out he's pretty good in this post-Matt Rule world. Last week, that touchdown pass he threw to DJ Moore should have been the winning touchdown pass, was farther than any pass in terms of air yards that they've kept track of since 2016. I feel like I should do this in a Christopher Walken voice. I'll just do it in my Philip Ryan Wilson voice. Hey, PJ's walking here. Oh, God, this is terrible. I didn't write that headline, Amanda. But here's the thing. My man is balling out. And I think he's going to outplay Joe Burrow this week. Joe Burrow obviously doesn't have Jamar Chase. He struggled a little bit last week in that loss to the Browns. He didn't get helped by Jonah Williams, his left tackle, who's given up more sacks this year than any other left tackle. At 8, that's a huge number. And meanwhile, we've seen what P.J. Walker's been able to do with DJ Moore, who's had over 200 receiving yards combined the last 2 weeks. We've seen how Dante Foreman stepped up in that post-Christian McCaffrey world. There are a lot of reasons for optimism. I can't believe I'm saying about the Panthers. But it starts with P.J. Walker. So I think he's going to outplay Joe Burrow. I'm not sure if they're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be another situation where we're like, oh, turns out P.J. Walker's been playing the whole time.
Ryan, if we're going to tank this segment, let's go to the North. I'm trying to foreshadow what's going to happen here. Packers' worst 8-game start of Aaron Rodgers' career. Packers at Lions Sunday. They're favored by 3.5 on the road. What's your headline coming out of this one?
The fact that they're favored by 3.5 going to Detroit, a team that can't defend anyone and just fired their D-backs coach, that's very concerning, and it sort of gets to your point. They've lost 4 straight. There's a chance they lose 5 straight for the first time in 14 years, I believe. And I think what's going to happen is the old Detroit Lions are going to put a hurting on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. King of the North, no more. There's a Game of Thrones reference in there somewhere. I'm not sure what it is, but it is a troubling situation in Green Bay. The wide receivers are either young, injured, or both. That's a problem. The offensive line has been injured for much of the season. David Bakhtiari finally came back. Didn't matter last week. And the defense has been up and down. On the other side, Jared Goff, for the first time in 4 games, didn't throw an interception, played really well, completed over 70% of his passes against the Dolphins. The defense, once again, was the issue in terms of letting the Lions down at the end of that football game. But I think this is the time that they turn it on. Amon-Ra St. Brown is back. Jamal Williams is scoring touchdowns at a clip better than any other running back in the NFL. Even though they've gotten rid of T.J. Hawkinson, he's now in Minnesota, I still think that the Lions have a chance to win this game. And look, if they find a way to beat the Packers with this terrible Lions defense, it's going to get way worse in a hurry in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur will have a lot of questions to answer, and it's not going to be fun.
I just remembered there was an episode where Jon Snow died. So that's going to be this episode. It's not going to be the Red Wedding. It's going to be the one where Jon Snow died. There's your Game of Thrones reference. All right, Raiders at Jags. Raiders 2-5, Jags 2-6. Vegas, keep in mind, 0-4 on the road this season. What's your headline Monday morning on this Friday?
So Trevor Lawrence has not been great, and that's no grand revelation. He's struggled. In fact, our Jonathan Jones wrote about this earlier in the week, how not only is Trevor struggling in the fourth quarter, he's struggling at the end of halves, both the end of the second quarter and the fourth quarter, and throwing a ton of interceptions, making a ton of mistakes. The only quarterback who's playing worse in those situations is Kenny Pickett, and he's on a team that's won 2 football games and can't score points. So this all comes down to Trevor Lawrence, and he has to play better. What better way to get right than to face a Raiders defense that has not been good? So flawless Trevor Lawrence, no turnovers. When they don't turn the ball over, Trevor Lawrence is successful and they win football games. When they do turn the ball over, Trevor Lawrence, they lose, and they've lost 5 straight. On the other side, Derek Carr is certainly having his issues. That Josh McDaniels offense doesn't appear to be working, which is a head scratcher for sure. But Trevor Lawrence has his teammate Trevor Etienne, who's getting the ball, Travis Etienne, getting the ball each and every week and getting better with that. And of course, the guys that they signed in the offseason, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, are the 3 leading receivers. They have to continue to be involved as well. So I think Trevor Lawrence, for the first time in a long time, takes care of the football, makes plays late in the fourth quarter, and leads the Jaguars to victory.
A win there. You got a lot of upsets in this, but if you were going to go with an upset of the week, what is it going to be?
Yeah, this is sort of crazy talk, but hey, what are we doing here anyway? I got Justin Fields and the Bears beating the Miami Dolphins. I love it when people call Miami. So I think, look, this is a stretch. And part of this is Justin Fields played so well last week. It was what we had all hoped to see from Justin Fields over the first year and a half of his career. It finally came together last week. Completed more than 70% of his passes, threw 2 touchdowns, ran for another. And those are the things you want to see from Justin Fields. Part of that is that the Bears offense is finally catering to Justin Fields, allowing him to use his legs on designated plays, which is good. The other thing that I think is going to be a boost, maybe not a big boost this week, but will help down the road, the addition of Chase Claypool, who they traded for right before the trade deadline, and he has an opportunity to come in as a big target, something that Justin Fields has not had this season outside of Cole Kmet, and allow Darnell Mooney to do his thing underneath. Now, defensively, they're going to have to get after it, and they've lost some players on the defensive side of the ball, no doubt about it. And Miami is a juggernaut, let's be honest. But this is a situation where everything has to come together perfectly. You hope that Chase Young rises the offense, the rising tides lift all boats offense philosophy. The same thing we see with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. I don't think it'll be that much, but maybe it will. And then we see Justin ball out for 2 straight weeks in what would be an enormous upset in Chicago.
Payoff here. I told you I was going to look it up. Thanks to our producer. Thanks to Jeremy. Geno Smith, 60-1 odds to win MVP. So do we thank you now? Is Philip Ryan Wilson? Is that what we're going with now?
That's my official name, yes.
Okay, we're going to go with Philip Ryan Wilson. Also, fun fact, I'll give you the last one. Town in Oklahoma, spelled Miami, and it's pronounced Miami. So there you go. I don't know if that'll be a Jeopardy question at some point, but now we all know. I'm going to move on. Ryan Wilson, thank you so much. Ryan Wilson, part of the Pick Six podcast. I saw his little sweatshirt there, some swag. I think maybe you can buy them. But more importantly, make sure to check him out. Listen to him, watch him. Latest episode giving you picks for Week 9 in the NFL. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.